should religion evolve? Should we have religious leaders who are like, hey, you know what? We need to update sort of the framework or the template of this religion, or should it be a thing where you're like, what? Can you explain a little more of what you were saying with that? Where, because I think that answers the question. Religion is the gateway to spirituality,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So what?
So
That I guess that answers the question. So take me through that of how and what
yeah,
that's done for you, I guess.
yeah. We are not the same person, people that we used to be like 200, 300 years ago. We are evolving, we are being smart, getting smarter and smarter. So we need better answer. Like older answers are not good for us. And that's the biggest struggle right now. Like if you want younger generation to accept those old answers, they will just call it bullshit. And I don't blame them because they need newer generation answers. So yes,
Mhm.
religion must evolve and the guideline must be presented in a way that they are clearly explainable in today's term. Um,
Do you
for
think that?
example, right?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, do you think though that because in the West at least I've been seeing this push toward traditional or traditionalism or trad. They're calling it trad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's almost like it's become a pop culture thing of let's go back to those old traditions. So I'm not saying that you're incorrect in your statement because I think you're very correct. But what do you think about this trend of going back toward the traditional and being like, let's bring back the values of the early Catholic Church or the Spartans or whatever?
Mm-hmm. No, that moment which is happening is is also good in a way. But first of all, they must understand what 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 are kind of like the real values behind the tradition. If they
Yeah.
don't understand the tradition, there is no point,
Right.
right? And I was about to give the example on the same thing, like we do like in religion there are mantras and there are shlokas and we do all the rituals, right? We pray
Mhm.
thousands of god, like Hindus have thousands of god.
Right.
None of them like we want to go back to the tradition and there is nothing wrong with that, but I must ask the question like, hey, you are lighting the diyas, what's the purpose of it,
Yes.
right? If they don't know the meaning, then there is no point of just lighting diya and sitting in front of him and doing yoga. No, it's absolutely bullshit. First of all, you need to know diya, lighting diya means you need to light up here, not just with matchbox. It's here. Everything is blacked out here and you must light here first. That's the symbolic meaning. If you don't know, then there is no point of going back to tradition. Second thing, yoga, right? Yoga is very popular these days. I mean,
Yeah.
it has been popular and people are using it in different way for exercise. Yoga uh, truly is yoga word means union of mind with self is yoga. Now you don't have to
Hmm.
sit in a specific posture. What you need to know is it's yoga is for introspection. Like you need to ask yourself when you're doing yoga, like just sit silently and am I a cheater, am I a liar, and start answering those questions and you become the better person. That's the yoga. You are uniting with yourself, right?
Hmm.
Now I don't want to say that no, don't go and don't do the yoga, but when you are doing yoga, it's not about the position. They must understand that first. It's about here. So that way, when people don't know what truly going back to tradition is, there is no point of going back to tradition because it's not going to help them either way, going forward or going backward.
It's really well said. Yeah. And that's part of the issue I think that has frustrated me is when you just do something without knowing why you're doing it and there's no connection to it in any religion, it's like you're kind of being bad at your religion because you don't understand the underlying meaning of why this thing is important. And yet, if you're going to teach your
Absolutely.
kids like, oh, well, you have to do this, why? And I was always a kid that asked why. Like, why do I have to do this? Why is this important? Why is this a fundamental tenet of the religion, etc.? And especially with rituals, like, do you think that those rituals are really important to communities of faith to continue? Or is it what you said is you have to know why you're doing it? That's more important maybe than the ritual, but they go hand in
Yes.
hand. Yeah.
Yes. So there is a very like important idea behind the rituals. So rituals are not just like you do this and this will happen. Ritual has basic idea, and I'm gonna give you one more example. Um, if you have seen somewhere, like in temples, we do burn the fire and put things into it. Like we do yagna, we call it yagna, holy
Mhm.
fire, and we burn things into it, right? Um, in Vedas, which is like a common guideline, you can say like basic guideline, but people have no idea like what things are, what is religion, but you need to give them entry point. So they talk about like a sacred fire where you burn everything, and people misunderstood, not misunderstood, but it's entry point where you put some food in it, you put some butter in it, things like that, as a sacrifice, right?
Mhm.
uh, then it takes one step deeper. Like then comes the Upanishad. They talk about the same yajna, the sacred fire, but that sacred fire is not to burn any physical things. That is to burn your attachments. That is to burn your desires. That is to
Mm.
burn your greed. Stepping
Mm.
stone. Like you went from doing a physical thing, now you stepping into here by comparing them. So it gives a metaphor which can be useful. But if you just go to the second step, people will reject the ideas because they don't have any idea about what the first step is or how to step into the spirituality and use the religion and religious guidelines.